Hello, good morning. My name is Bárbara Rodríguez, and thank you for joining us today. Thank you to the Global Digital Week for the invitation. And today I'm going to talk about Israel as a startup nation. I'm going to tell you a little bit more about my background in this sense. Well, I'm part of the Israel Economic Mission to Mexico. I overlook the sectors of cybersecurity, retail, fintech, and many others. But as I said, Israel as a startup nation overlooks the multiple levels and multiple industries. But coming back into my background, I'm an internationalist. I devoted myself into international relations and everything related to the part of international cooperation for development. However, I do have a background in what is innovation and the part of creating a startup. I myself was involved into that area, creating my own startup, especially into the digital health, trying to help migrants that were crossing Mexico from all the way Central America to the northern border, going to the US to get a job also. So I was trying to do something related to mental health and providing them with a job for having economic independence while they were in transit. However, right now I'm part of the Israel ecosystem, a very innovative, always changing, and I would like to further talk about that. So in this case, as I mentioned, I'm part of the Israel Economic Mission to Mexico. We are a network of 54 different offices all over the world. I'm based in Mexico City, and we overlook the Mexico region. However, we have offices all in like South America, North America. We have 3 different missions in the US. It depends on the needs of the market that we will have a physical office. If not, different offices will be overlooking the needs of those markets. We work hand by hand with the Ministry of Economy and Industry and the main targets within the region. But what do we do? In this case, we have different objectives. We have 4 different verticals. We look for opportunities between Mexico and Israel. We identify them and we build based on it. In this case, we are creating networks between the public and private sectors among both countries. We work with the federal level, state level, and different private companies, regardless of the size. We also work with the small and medium enterprises, and we organize business events, business gatherings. Either if you would like to further know about Israel and you would like to physically go there, well, we organize that. We have conferences in multiple innovative segments, and we invite the international community to go to Israel to live what is developing, when it's being created directly there, to understand what made Israel the nation that is today. And we aim to become the technological provider of the markets we work with. So in this case, we create synergies with the different entities and industries in Mexico to become their technological partner. And how do we do it? I mentioned a bit with who do we work, but what's our added value? So as I mentioned, we work with public and private entities. Also, we work with different clusters and associations. Depending on their needs is what we do. So for example, if you're an association and your different allies are looking to further know about a certain technology or segment that it's in trend right now, we provide webinars and seminars for them. Also, these delegations for them to go to Israel, we organize an agenda for them. And if it's not possible, we do everything virtually. We promote the free trade agreement between both countries, and for it, we provide webinars for the Mexican companies to know what is to be done in case they want to import from Israel, or in this case, if the Israeli companies want to export to Mexico, they know how to do business here. In the case of private companies or public entities, in this case, the government, if they have a specific project, we provide a scouting. So everything that we do is suggesting which technologies will be more suitable to their needs. We create catalogs, and everything that we do is free of charge for them. We want to create this partnership and basically tight the relation between Mexico and Israel. And what's Israel? I mentioned a little bit what our office does, in this case, the Ministry of Industry and Economy. But what's Israel as a country? What made it to be known as a startup nation? So it was founded in 1948, just after the Second World War. If you are Mexican, you can relate to this example, but in Mexico, we have a small state called Hidalgo. So it's related to that size, and it has 9 million inhabitants, mainly young people. Tel Aviv, it's known as the main economic and business center, while Jerusalem is the capital. Right now, we have more than 7,000 active startups, of which 94 are known as unicorns. A unicorn is a company that is valued in more than $1 billion in this case. And the official language in Israel will be Hebrew, but you can do business there in English as well. As I mentioned, it's a very international and diverse community. Currently, we have more than 300 innovation and development centers, mainly related to large corporations such as financial institutions like HBC, Santander, among others. IBM also has a research and development center, Bimbo as well. And Israel is currently known, or Tel Aviv, it will be known as the Silicon Valley of the Middle East. And we have multiple segments and sectors in which we are currently developing innovative technology. I mentioned that I'm focused in cybersecurity, retail, fintech, but initially Israel was known for agriculture, water technologies. Also, due to its background on security, HLS, Homeland Security, we have different systems and, well, not only software and hardware, but to prevent any situation that might be needed for national security. Also, due to the digital transformation that we have been living after this pandemic of COVID-19, cybersecurity has become one of the main targets, one of the main segments that has been adopted for the international community. If you do not have knowledge of cybersecurity, of different, even small tasks you can do to prevent a cyber attack, it's more likely you're going to suffer one. In Mexico, for example, industries such as the automotive industry 0.40, financial institutions and even the government has been affected due to the lack of information, or that their systems have been encrypted, preventing their use. So in this case, we have technology to either avoid this from happening, to prevent this malpractices within the company, like opening malicious email, and so on, depending on the main industry. But also, we apply technology in the retail segment. For example, what it will be 3D, virtual reality, metaverse, so that you can enjoy it more, you have a better shopping experience, but also for the retailers to gather data. You stay for a longer period of time within a certain website. The longer that you interact, the more data the retailer can have for them to expand to what you like and have a more personalized marketing, for example. Also, digital health, due to the pandemic, has been one of the trends. And well, referring to the Mexico-Israel economic and political, more to say diplomatic relations, they started in 1952, and right now we have free trade agreement among both countries, which was signed 23 years ago, after which we have had an economic exchange that is more than $1 billion. So it has grown around 300%, the commercial exchange since this trade agreement was signed. And also here we can see a bit more on the different trade agreements that Israel has signed and are currently viable with different latitudes. In this case, from the European Union, that is geographically very close, to markets such as American one or the Chinese market. In this case, we have economic and political relations with all latitudes. So the different companies or the different startups that want to expand, well, they have multiple options to do so. If we want to compare Mexico to Israel, it might be hard to do, but we can do it in a sense of economic reference and the part of commerce or international transactions. As mentioned, Israel is a relatively new country, has only 9 million inhabitants, while Mexico has over 100 million. But in this sense, the range of innovation is very different as well. Mexico right now figures as 56th place in innovation, while Israel is the number 11 worldwide. And this provides an opportunity for Israeli companies looking to enter an international market. That means that Mexico is the gate either to South America or to the US. It's a market that allows this technology, the different startups, to adapt to a new market and to diversify, and then establish into another segment. So Mexico is the perfect scenario for all the Israeli companies looking to leave Israel and expand its international presence. And well, regarding the Israeli economy, it can be said that it's very stable and very reliable and keeps developing. Right now it has relatively low inflation rate, only 44.6%, and its GDP is estimated to be in 481 million of US dollars. In this case, it can be mentioned that the Israel GDP per capita, it's around the average of the OECD members. Right now it's estimated to be in $40.7 thousand, while the OECD is in $44,600 around that. And regarding the education, Israel is to be considered a very well-educated country. This also relates due to the military experience and that the different people who require higher education has. For Israelis, because if you're a woman or a man, you have to go into the military service. It's mandatory. So you have a certain amount of time that you devote to military, and eventually, due to this experience, you know more precisely in which field you want to focus. So most of them, they go to university, they go into the law school or any engineering, and accomplish also a master or doctorate degree. Right now, 50% of the Israeli population has higher education, which ranks way above the average of the OECD member countries. And regarding the accomplishments on the Israeli innovation, right now Israel has 12 Nobel award in areas such as economy, chemistry, and the arts and literature, but also in peace. And Israel ranks 12 among the number of Nobel Prize winners per capita worldwide. The different challenges that Israel is undergoing also are part of their success. The fact that Israel has a relatively young population, a high number of migrants, a very diverse population, not only within geographic background, but cultural and religious background, makes it a very rich country. The geographical position in which it is located, that is very challenging due to security reasons, but also it provides the closeness to the European Union and also to Asia. But one of the main points, one of the pain points that in the end turned out to be positive is a lack of natural resources. Israel is in a desert, has no hydric or very small hydric resources, and for which a technology was developed, was it had to be done something to go and surpass these challenges. For which right now Israel is known as the third country with more public companies that are in the New York. So in this case, regarding to innovation, currently Israel figures to be the third largest country with more startups that went public and are currently part of the New York Stock Exchange market. Also, 15% of the GDP of the country is related to high tech. And as of 2021, Israel was the third country with a larger or more relevant innovative ecosystem, just below the US and the UK markets. Regarding to the different inventions that Israeli has given to the international community, they can be classified into segments such as agriculture, medicine, IT, automotive, among others. But if I may say, one of the main ones is to be Waze. This app that goes into a GPS that allows you to go anywhere with the best route possible is used in every corner of the world. Also, Mobile AI, this company installs video cameras in the back of your car, allowing you to park correctly, and in this case, preventing any accidents to happen. Yet, it will be another version of the Uber. It's also Israeli. In the part of agriculture, Netafim, it's one of the main or more best known ones, and Checkpoint regarding cybersecurity. And another interesting fact is that the USB that we all have used or we keep using was invented in Israel. The Google search bar was also developed in Israel. And among the different corporations that have either presence, an office, or an innovation and research lab in Israel are Intel, HP, Nestle, IBM, just a few of them, and they can be seen in this slide. And regarding the unicorns, we have heard a lot of them recently, or the startups want to be part of this ecosystem. Israel, as mentioned, has 94, of which a few of them are also part of the previous slide regarding the inventions that have in Israel, like I said, GET, or cyber reason in the aspect of cybersecurity, especially for ransomware attacks, Monday, that allows you to plan ahead and just be more organized and comply with your daily task. Pioneer in the fintech segment, Lemonade in the insure part. So a unicorn is a company that is valued more than $1 billion, and we have in different areas. Also, you can see in this slide the different expenditures that have been taking place in the R&D area. The OECD has the OECD countries have an average of expenditure of 2.5 of the GDP, while in Israel it's almost 5%. And the aspect of investment and high-risk capital in recent years has Israel one of the main destinations for this investment, especially in the areas such as cybersecurity or anything related to IT. Is leading, as you can see, just below Israel, countries such as the US, even the United Kingdom, that can be considered a few of the most innovative ecosystems. And regarding high tech in Israel, the main segments will be fintech, food tech, artificial intelligence, and also cyber. Despite the fact that in the last couple of years, especially during the pandemic, the investment in high tech decreased significantly. As of 2020, it started, by the end of 2020, it started to rise again. So you can see that, for example, in 2019 was kind of a slow year for investment, part of uncertainty, and also in 2020 by the very beginning. But right now, this investment in high tech is bit recurring. And I'm going to talk about different segments of the Israeli innovation system. I already mentioned a few examples of either unicorns or companies related to inventions in Israel, but I'm going to refer more into cybersecurity and fintech, and also the area of water technologies. Regarding cybersecurity, I have commented that is one of the key segments worldwide, not only in Israel. Right now, due to this digitalization, everyone is subject of a cyber attack. Well, among the top 10 cybersecurity companies, 2 of them are Israelis, of which are Checkpoint, currently valued in more than $1.6 billion, and CyberArk, that it's valued in more than $1.8 billion. And in this case, Checkpoint is more into hardware solution, and CyberArk more into a software. Also, you can see in this graph on the right, the investment, the different companies that have been established during the last decade in the cybersecurity segment. Most of them took place during 2018. However, this segment is still very popular, especially in Mexico, the public entities for protection of private and very sensitive documents in the part of automotive industry and financial institutions. And regarding the investment in cybersecurity, you can see by the graph that by 2021, it diminished significantly. It shrinked due to the previous related to the pandemic. However, right now it's starting to slowly recover, and we can say that related to this technological digitalization, well, the aspect of cybersecurity saw that 11 new unicorns were included into this list of Israeli companies, for which 14 out of the 22 unicorns in Israel are related to cybersecurity. Regarding fintech, out of this 92 unicorns that are from Israeli origin, 17% are related to the fintech and the insurtech area. Companies such as eToro, Lemonade for the insurtech sector are the ones to follow. Also, regarding to the global index on the startup ecosystem, you can see that Tel Aviv, the Silicon Valley of the Middle East, figures as 7 worldwide, being the lead Silicon Valley. And regarding investment into the fintech area in Israel, we can see that from 2020 to 2021, it increased significantly, 136% in the different rounds in which the companies from this segment were raising capital. And well, a few examples of success are these companies listed from Repit, Melio, Papaya, Pioneer. These are examples of success in the segment due to a constant reinvention and technological development, also due to the partnerships that they have established with international corporations that have included them as a partner for development of this technology, and they have sent a new technology to follow at international level. Well, as in this ranking shows, regarding the global fintech index for 2021, Israel figures as the third most innovative for fintech worldwide. And concerning water technology, there are 4 special segments or areas to take into consideration: the rise of the population worldwide, the climate change, the water pollution, and the acquisitive power of the middle class. These 4 aspects have contributed to developing technology that can be suitable for different markets. In this case, in Israel, right now, the country is leading regarding desalination plants, has the concentration and the most the most technologically advanced salination water plants based in Israel. Also, around 80% of the water that is used in Israel, it's been recycled. So in this case, any water that you might be drinking might be recycled. And the country that follows Israel regarding this water recycling process, only recycles 12% of its water. Also, technologies such as Netafim have helped to not waste that much water, and also help the agricultural segment. And right now is one of the main points of reference, Israel into water and agriculture regarding this. And to finalize, I can mention 5 steps to success, 5 aspects that have made Israel the country that it is today, of which the first one might be the technology capacity and its development, especially the focus on technology, on high tech, the mathematical aspect, the promotion of focusing in engineering, for example, and in this case to export not goods but tech. Also, the educational system that is more into the experience and your professional development. So what you had as a military experience regarding security, regarding different areas in which you might have focused, well, in this case, you can put it into practice and develop something that might be suitable either for the industry in which you were based in during your service, or something that you see that now the society might be in need of. That's why we tend to say that they have a military background, because either this technology was developed by militaries, was used in field, or eventually was developed by militaries and used for social purposes. Also, there's no such a thing as being scared to failure. It's completely the opposite. If you fail, it's an example that you succeed, because at least you learn new ways of how to not do something. And eventually you will apply this knowledge to new, either like business, technology that you might be developing, or things in life, and you will succeed. There's also this support from the government. There's different programs that the government has been developing for the companies to be successful, either financially, they help them, or they mentor them as well. There's also an international vision. These companies are looking to expand into different markets. The closeness to the European market, to the Asian market, helps them to do not only stay in Israel, because, as I said, it's a very small country. Their targets are very much a few. So they want to expand, they have to go out of Israel. So in this case, I would like to thank you for the opportunity, for having me, and for your interest in this workshop. Thank you again. And well, if you would like to contact me, this is my email, also my WhatsApp, and you can find me in social media on LinkedIn. Thank you.